Hello, BookTube! The time has finally come. I've been dreading it all year and it has taken 3 months for it to happen, but I have a cold sore. I have herpes, so please excuse my festering lip. There's nothing we can do about it now. So this week I have read James and the Giant Peach. This is a book that I have been waiting to read for no apparent reason. Well, no, actually the apparent reason is that I think I don't like Roald Dahl. When I was in I think it was year 5, I started reading a lot then, and it wasn't this book, it was a different Roald Dahl book. I don't remember which one, but there was disgusting slugs involved and I didn't like it at all. It was completely gross and they were running away from something and it was very weird, and I remember the teacher was reading it out to the whole class and everyone loved it, except for me. And then when the teacher asked us if we were enjoying it, I stupidly voiced my opinion and I said, no, I didn't like it. And then when she turned to me and she was like, why? Why don't you like it? I was very nervous, very upset, and I burst into tears and was like, I don't know, I just don't like it, because I have anxiety and I just couldn't form rational sentences when everybody was looking at me because I was different. I had that bad experience to go on, so I never ever read James and the Giant Peach. Look, it wasn't great. I didn't love it. It had a lot of poetry in it, a lot of rhyming, and that just sort of... I can see how it could build things when you're little and you're like, oh, that's really cool the way that this wordsmith has created, like, funny songs. That would have been awesome then, but now I was just like, oh god, this has nothing to do with the story, stop singing, you annoying caterpillar. He wasn't a caterpillar, a centipede. You annoying centipede, just like, shut up. So that's something that would have changed with age, I think. It's obviously a children's book, and if I was a 12-year-old, that would be perfect. But I'm no longer 12, and that's really sad. Regrets. The story would be fantastic, told by the author late at night in front of a fire to a group of children. It would be fantastic to watch that. I just got a little bit bored in the book. I was like, well, that's unrealistic. I called bullshit. So I could tell you everything that happens, but it's a little bit extreme. Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers, totally. This little boy named James, his parents get eaten by a rhinoceros, so he goes to live with his evil, nasty aunts, who are just terrible to him, and then he meets this weird magician guy who gives him some magic potion thing that he has to create, but he falls over, and all of the little gross little wiggly worm things go into this tree, and then the tree gets the magic, but of course the barren peach tree, its one true dream thing was to grow a peach, so it grew this giant peach, and I'm talking massive. Like, James crawled into a hole in the peach and went and lived inside with some bugs, and then the peach got so big that the tree couldn't hold it anymore, and it rolled down the hill and into the ocean, where it was attacked by sharks. And, oh, it killed the 2 aunts, just FYI, so now the kid is like a complete orphan, not just like half orphan, he has nowhere to go. So anyway, being eaten by sharks, everyone's panicking. James becomes the leader of this group of giant insects that he's met, right? So there's like a centipede and a grasshopper and a spider, and you can basically tell that it's anthropomorphizing insects because kids think insects are scary and they need to learn not to squish spiders, basically. And so James comes up with this idea to use the spider web and the silkworm's string to hook over the necks of seagulls and then lift up the giant peach out of the water by this flock of birds. But to do that, they lure the birds in with a worm as bait, and like, here's this friend, and that just seems a bit intense. But anyway, they fly all the way across the Atlantic Ocean through the clouds, where there's these clouds people who are like little waif people who get really angry at them because they like break a rainbow, and the really annoying centipede like sings a leery song at them because he seems a little bit racist or something, and then they like throwing hailstones at them and stuff, but then they just keep going, and there's a really big one at one point, and they break a rainbow, they shatter it, and the strings get all caught up and it's horrible. But then they end up pinned to the top of Centerpoint Tower. Is that the tower, the one with the big pier on top in America? So they've gone all the way across the ocean, and they were spotted by a ship who thought they were a bomb, so there's all these firemen and policemen there, and then basically they have a big parade because James talks his way out of being a terrorist, and then he lives in the pit of the seed of the giant peach, because all of the children who he's been longing for come and eat it, and then he gets to live in the city as a hero with all his bug friends in the same town, and everyone basically lives happily ever after. That's the sum up of the crazy story, which appears a lot more fun retelling it to you than it was when I was reading it. I was just like, this is so unrealistic, what is happening? Oh my god, this is weird. I'm a little bit bored, the narrative doesn't seem to flow properly, there's no cause and reaction, but it was a kid's story, so that makes a bit of sense. They're very jumpy and they have very small attention spans, and it's probably a really, really clever book. With very strong good morals. I don't squish spiders either, so I'm happy that somebody is selling them. That's this week's story, and I will see you all on Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye. Kiss my festering lip.